Hey, how's it going? Today's video is a little bit different, so let me just jump right in and tell you what it is about. As you can see on the screen, we have a flowchart we're going to go over, and it is from receiving a new client all the way to getting their disputes out the door and up to round 2, okay? So this video is for you today if you just want to see what's involved in the actual dispute letter process because you are curious, or if you have your own clients and you don't know if you're doing this the right way. You might be missing a step. Who knows? I don't know. So that is what we're going over today. And you can go check out a bunch of other stuff down in the description. Make sure you like this video if you found it valuable. Subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and if this is just not for you and you don't want to go through all this because you're going to realize how much is involved, that's okay. That is totally okay. If you want to see if I can take over your file and do the credit sweep for you, use that link in the description as the first comment to schedule a call with me one-to-one, and I will see if I can help you and take over your file and do the credit sweep for you and get the results for you that either you don't want to get, you don't have the time to get, or you just don't know how to get, all right? So let's jump right into this. So as you can see over here on the left-hand side, this big little shape right here, this big little, that was kind of like contradictory, right? But anyways, over here, we have our new client received, right? So then after receiving that new client, do we have a successful payment? If yes, then we are going to add them to the CRM. If no, then we have to find out if they still want to sign up. You see this yellow action right here? Do they still want to sign up? No? That's totally fine. Let's archive them. If yes, do we have a successful payment? All right. So you got to make sure that you are going to get paid for your services. If you are not going to get paid, then guess what? Get rid of that lead. Don't even follow up with them. Just get rid of them, okay? Because you are going to have problems with them if you can't even get that first payment, all right? Now, it all depends on your subscription model. Are you doing your analysis first? Are you charging for the setup and analysis? Are you not doing analysis? Are you just jumping right into your disputes? You need to find out for yourself what works for you, what is best for you, and how much money and time is going out the door for each and every single client. How much is it costing you, okay? So before we go and go any further on that, you need to realize that there's also another part of this, the payments, okay? You need to also set up a new subscription for your client, all right? So if we have a successful payment, then guess what? That's okay. Send a receipt. You're going to wait 30 days, and then it's going to charge them again. If not, you need to go over here and get a new payment method for them, reattempt the payment, and then guess what? Do we have a successful payment? If yes, send a receipt. Wait 30 days, so on and so forth. So that is the subscription model, and yours might not be waiting 30 days. It might be same date each month that it gets charged, but you need to make sure that you have a way to attempt a new payment, get a new payment method, and send them a receipt. All right, so let's get out of payments and come back down here. So after our successful payment, and yes, this client wants to move forward, we are going to add them to our credit repair software or the CRM. All right. We also need to send a contract to them. All right. Whatever your agreement, your disclosures, all that great stuff, right? That stuff in a bag of chips. You also are going to send a text with confirmation of sending and link to fill out a payment authorization. Now, this is my model. It is not your model. Some of this can be automated, some of it cannot. I just wanted to put each and every single step on here so that you could see maybe you're missing something, maybe you need to include something, maybe you don't need some of this stuff, okay? But this is mine. It does not need to be yours, all right? So let me just explain this part right here. All right. When I receive a new client, I am going to add them to my software. My software is automatically going to start sending them these emails. All right. I have 7 automated emails. So I missed one. There's a 7th one down here. I have a 7-day sequence, and it's going to walk them through what to expect, how things work. What happens if this doesn't happen? When should I when should I see my next update? So on and so forth. All right. So I have a little automated sequence as soon as they are added to the CRM. All right. Now, when I manually send them the contract. If I'm signing them up on the phone, I'm going to send them the contract. If they're signing up themselves, maybe they weren't ready on the phone call, right? I'm going to give them the link to the sign up page where they automatically are going to, do their payment, their payment authorization, and grab their contract. All right. So there's two different ways to do this. I only put this as a sequence of what actually happens, though. All right, moving forward. We added them. We sent them the contract. We got them to, receive their receipt, the contract, and the payment authorization. I'm going to wait a couple of hours to let them fill this out. Maybe they're at work. Maybe they're driving. Who knows? But they need a little bit of time, right? So now I'm going to check, did they complete the documentation? All right. If no, I'm going to send out a reminder, request documentation via text and email. All right. I'm going to wait. And then, did they complete it? Now, if they did, I'm going to also check their information. Can I log into Identity IQ? Do I have all three pieces of identification? ID, SSN, proof of address, all right? If I cannot log in, I'm going to contact them for proper login, because that means I cannot move forward to perform their analysis or their analyzer, right? Now, as far as documentation, if yes, then I'm going to move forward to the analysis. If no, I'm going to contact for proper identification, and I'm going to provide a secure link for them to upload it, right? Because they're supposed to fill this stuff out with the contract, because the contract allows for them to, number one, sign up for Identity IQ. Number two, include personal information like name, date of birth, email, address, phone number, social, identification, and that's it. Got their signatures. I have everything that I need on there. But if not, I have to go through all these different steps to make sure that I can log in. I've got their identification. They filled out their personal information. So that is the most important part of this, is making sure that you have their information. All right. So now let's take this a step further. Let's say that I do have everything now. I have their personal info. I can log into Identity IQ. I have their identification. Now I need to perform the analysis. All right, so let's just pause right there and look at this two different ways. If you do not have credit repair software, you're going to do this manually. You're going to find what negative items they have, right? And you're going to log them either on paper, on a digital something. You need to write down what their negative items are, all right? And you need to look, like, are these charge-offs, or how old are they? Are they? Do I need to update this account? Do I need to delete this account? Am I going to attack this first? Am I going to attack that first? Like, whatever your sequence is, that is when you're going to find all the stuff about what you're going to do with their action plan. Now, as far as what I do, I dispute every single account every single time, all three bureaus every single time, using custom factual disputes. So my analysis is really determining what the negative items are and whether they're going to be deleted or corrected, okay? Now, automatically, after I upload the information into the computer, it's automatically going to send them a copy of their 15 to 20 page analysis, okay? So this is not a manual step for me. I'm also going to do their analyzer, which is also another 15 to 20 page report, and it's automatically going to email their analyzer. Now, the difference between analysis and the analyzer, the analysis will break down, highlight the inaccuracies. The analyzer is going to show them what's still within the statute of limitations for like creditors coming after them, and so on and so forth. All right. So now I'm going to import the derogatory accounts to dispute into their profile, right? So I'm not just going to have their personal info in there. Now I'm also going to have all of those accounts taken from the analysis, and we're going to put those into the software. All right. Now I need to determine, what am I going to dispute? Because just because they have negative information doesn't mean that I'm going to dispute it. Maybe they told me specifically that they don't want me to dispute X, Y, or Z. That is when I'm going to uncheck those in the software, and we're going to just kind of either delete them or put them to the side. All right. So now I need to create my disputes, right? So now I've actually done my analysis, my analyzer, my research, and now I'm physically going to dispute. So I'm going to process all my negative items. I'm going to send, if relevant, my Experian letter, my Equifax letter, and my TransUnion letter. Now, furthermore, I have put this as sending out as day 1 for Experian, day 2 for Equifax, and day 3 for TransUnion. I'm going to wait 30 days, and I'm going to check for deletions, corrections, changed info, new accounts, violations, etc. Okay. Now, over here on the left, if we do have deletions and change information, then I'm going to dispute the remaining accounts with new information, right? If not, I'm going to dispute the same account using the next best dispute reason because I literally have the same information as before. So we're going to wait 5 days on each side or either side, and then I'm going to send out relevant creditor and collector letters, all right? And this is all dependent on what I'm disputing, what types of accounts they are, because sometimes you're not going to dispute with the creditor, you're not going to dispute with the collector, and it's only going to be bureau disputes. But when you're doing a flowchart, you want to include every possibility that you have as part of your process. And then I'm going to wait 30 days. And guess what? Now we are at round 2 or update for round 1. We're going to check for deletions and corrections, change info, new accounts, violations, and we are going to do this whole thing all over again. And you see, that is the beauty of factual based disputes, right? You have this process where it doesn't matter what type of account it is, you have an action plan for every single round because you're going based on the actual information on the credit report. So you never run out of things to dispute on an account, the elements, the reasons. We're going after violations. We can use the evolution line method. We can go after the domino effect. We can use, the dispute funnel. We have all these different avenues of approach for an account. And so we're not ever saying the same thing over again. And that is why it works. That is why we get the results. All right. So I just wanted to share this quickly with you. I could go way more into detail. I could have put like 1,000 other things on here, but I wanted to make this easy to understand without any confusion about the process. And again, this is my process, does not need to be yours. Yes, it is missing a couple of things, but I didn't want to make this too confusing. All right. So I hope that this clarified anything for you as a business or as someone who wanted to know what was missing in their process or maybe just needed some help with this. And for those of you that are just consumers that, wanted a little bit of clarification on, what happens after a new client is received with a company, well, this is mine. All right. So again, go check out the description. There are free resources on the subscriber hub, or if you want me to do this for you and put you through my little process, if I can help, then schedule a call with me 101 and I will do what I can. All right, guys, I will see you later. Throw a comment on this video if you need a little bit of clarification, and that is it. Have a wonderful day.